Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Danielle and I'm super excited to be here today. This is my first video that I am recording specifically for YouTube, so I'm so glad that you're here. For anyone that doesn't know me, which I'm assuming a lot of you don't know me, my name is Danielle and I am just your average girl. I am a new wife, I am a student, and I love makeup. I love makeup and I'm here to share with you some of my tips and tricks on how to get gorgeous makeup for a girl on the go, because we are all busy, okay? Not all of us have hours upon hours a day to put on makeup and look flawless, and girl, we all gotta start somewhere. So this is for you beginners that are on the go, that have busy lives, that have maybe 20 minutes a day to get your makeup done. So this is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you today about your brows, how to put them on, how to make them flawless, and how to be a beginner. Bear with me, you guys. I am so used to looking over at my face, so if I keep like wandering off and not looking at you in the camera, I apologize. We're still getting used to this whole new YouTube thing. I'm super excited to be here, so let's go ahead and get started. Everything that I do use on a daily basis is unique and I love it. I do have my link down in the bottom if you're interested in getting any of these products, but the main purpose of these videos is to teach you how to use the products, not to sell it to you. So we're going to use the Brow Obsession palette, and then I do have two Brow Artist brushes. We have one with a spoolie on the end and then an angled side, and we have one that has the same angled side but also a flat side. So I do use both of these brushes. I love to have a spoolie, but the flat end is also a must for me. All right? So let's just go ahead and get started. This is what comes in the Brow Obsession palette. So it has a light color here, a darker color, a wax, as well as two highlighters. This pink highlighter I use as a color corrector or a magic eraser. It is absolutely phenomenal for fixing any mistakes that you make. I assure you, as a beginner, you're going to make mistakes, so this is going to be your best friend. I'm grabbing the original Brow Artist brush, the one that has the flat side and an angled side. You can use any brush that is fairly thin and has an angled side to it. And we're gonna go in with step number one here, which is the light color. This is the blonde palette. There are three palettes total: blonde, medium, and then a dark black. Okay, so we're going in with step number one. The first thing that you're going to want to do as a beginner is get your markers, okay? Where does your brow start, where does it peak, and where does it end? The trick that I use to do this is to go from the tip of my nose through the corner of my eye and up. And I make a small little mark, get really close, a small mark right there to show where the brow is supposed to begin. And we do it again. We go through the tip of our nose, through the pupil of our eye, and follow it all the way up. And make a little mark right there. That is where your eyebrow is going to peak. That's where you want that nice arch, okay? And then the last thing, where does your brow end? So go again, the corner of your nose, through the tip of your eye, and out. Oops. A nice straight line. That is where you're gonna have your brow end, okay? Obviously, these markers are just a baseline, a base start for where you want it to go, and you can clean anything up along the way. So then I always take my brush and I like to line the bottom of my brow. I try to follow my natural brow. I do get my eyebrows waxed and I pluck them in between waxings so that I keep my brows nice and shaped. If your brows are a little bit crazy, you can always make them a little bit smaller when you're filling them in. But because mine are nice and shaped, I do just follow that. So I take a nice line and I go from right where I started, where I have my little marker, all the way in to the peak. I try to keep that a nice straight line to where it's supposed to peak, and then I angle it down and I make it connect to that marker that I made for the end of my brow. So I've got a nice straight line across here until I reach my peak, and then I angle it down. All right, go ahead and do the same thing on the top. So I start. You want a nice horizontal line to start with, all the way to your peak. At your peak is when you start to angle it down. So there you've got the outline of your brow. The inside might look a little bit crazy. You might have a little bit of outlier lines because we're beginners. We're not experts, okay? I did not go to beauty school, and I'm sure you didn't either. And if you did, then you should be making one of these yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in the outlines that I have made. So we've got it all filled in there. The inside is a little bit jagged for me. So I am gonna go in with a little bit more and make that a nice straight line. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead with the spoolie and just go over my brow, soften it up, make sure that all of the product is dispersed nicely throughout my brows. This product is a powder base. There are some makeup eyebrow palettes that do have wax bases or cream bases. These are powders. This is a wax on the outside that I typically don't use, but you could absolutely use that to finish off your brow. But I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the darker color, and we're gonna deepen up the tail of my brow. People do this a little bit differently. This is how I choose to do it, how I think it looks the most natural. I like my eyebrows to look nice and natural. I don't want it to look like I painted on an eyebrow. However, you can see that my natural eyebrows are so blonde that they are nearly invisible on my face. So for me, it is a must to fill in my brows. So we're gonna go in with a little bit of number 2 here, same brush, same side, and we're just going to fill in the tail. So the tail is where it peaks and down. And I like to bring my dark color over a little bit. So I'll actually line the whole base of the brow. So the same line that I used before, I line that whole thing with the dark color. And then I start just fading it in. And I will only bring this dark color fully halfway through. And as we get closer and closer to the center, I focus more on the base of the brow. So it's almost like a stair. It's like a stepping stair to slowly bring it up and get that nice fade. Okay, and then obviously that has a harsh line. Harsh lines are not cute. Take your spoolie and blend it out. And I just keep adding the dark until it looks to my satisfaction. Then is the time that I clean it all up. Like I said, we're all beginners. We all make mistakes. It's so important to be able to touch up anything and get nice straight lines. So that is what I use this pink color for. Technically, it is a highlighter. I use it as a color corrector or a little magic eraser. So I'm gonna go in with that color in the flat side of my brush. This is why the flat side is so important, because it's going to get me those nice straight lines. So I go into that color, we got it on our brush, and we just make a nice line right underneath. We will touch up our eye makeup. Typically, I will note I do my eyebrows first. So I put on my my primer and then I do my brows right away. So normally this isn't an issue with that eye makeup, but today we wanted to look like we had it somewhat together for you guys. So I did do my eye makeup first. What I'm gonna do is take a nice fluffy blending brush. Many brands do have these brushes. Again, everything that I use is unique. I'm obsessed with unique. I love their products. I love their tools. So that is what I'm using. But I know that Morphe also has some nice blending brushes as well. So just make sure you get yourself a nice fluffy blending brush and blend this out. We might have to go in with a little bit of our eyeshadow to touch it all up and make sure it blends nicely. Because obviously we don't want super pink under our eyes. There you go. I do refrain from doing the top of my eyebrow if I at all can get away with it. Some people like to have a very nice outlined brow on the top. I personally think it makes my brows look a bit more natural if I leave it untouched. So that is what I'm going to do today. We've got the nice line underneath, and the top is maybe a little bit less prim and proper, if you will, but I think it looks a little bit more natural. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other brow. And there you have it. Gorgeous brows, super fast. As you practice, it's gonna go faster. Definitely give yourself a little bit of extra time when you're first learning to do your brows, because it is gonna take you a little bit longer than it has taken me. But all in all, this whole video taken to record only took me 15 minutes, and I stopped a lot of times to explain exactly what I was doing. If I were doing this all by myself, sitting in front of the mirror with nothing going on, no explaining to do, I could get it done in 5 minutes maximum. So definitely, I hope this was helpful. Leave your comments down below. Give me a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you on here. Also, you can follow me over on Facebook and Instagram at Glam by Danielle Elise. I'd love to have you. I do live videos on my Facebook page every single day, going through the entire makeup process. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in getting to know me a little bit better, definitely join me on my Facebook Lives. Super fun. I hope this was helpful. Leave your feedback below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, bye!